Many thanks for joining us, and now the news in detail. In a significant step towards improving childcare services within tertiary and higher education institutions, the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology on Tuesday conducted a one-day stakeholder validation workshop to discuss findings of a consultancy work supported by the World Bank's RISE project. Our Sane reports.
From August to December 2024, a comprehensive consultancy was carried out to access crèche facilities within the tertiary and higher education institutions across the country. The initiative, backed by the World Bank's Resilience, Inclusion, Skills and Equity RISE project, aimed to develop a strategic roadmap for establishing and enhancing crèche services in these institutions. The stakeholder validation workshop brought together key stakeholders including educational leaders, childcare experts, and other relevant stakeholders to review the consultancy's findings and collaboratively refine the proposed strategies. Fatou Jane, crèche focal person for the project at MoHERST, said the reason for this project is to improve the welfare of women and enhance their participation in national development.
We know women go through a series of difficulties that affect their welfare. And with a country that has more than half of its population as women, if they are not taken care of, if they do not acquire the higher education that they deserve, if they do not have the relevant skills, they will not be able to participate effectively or meaningfully in national development. And we know childbearing is part of life. Women undergo a lot. Of course, some men support, but I know a man will get up in the morning. The woman has to take care of both the man and the children. Is that not what happens in most of the houses? So that woman, if care is not given, she is likely to drop out. Because if she has nobody caring for these children, she will stay at home and pull back, meaning she will not even be able to participate in decision-making positions because she does not have the higher education and skills set that is required. And this is why the ministry thought, through the support, of course, through the RISE project, the World Bank support, the ministry deemed it necessary as part of the gender mainstreaming to go and study, to find out if really we have these facilities. If we don't have, what do we do to support the women holistically, especially the young women?
MoHERST Deputy Permanent Secretary Technical, Dr. Mukhtar M.Y. Dabo, said establishing crèche facilities within the tertiary and higher education institutions is not merely a developmental goal, but also a strategy necessity for advancing equity and inclusivity. He urged the participants to keenly take part, as highlighted the objective of the project.
This validation workshop provides an invaluable platform for critical reflection, open dialogue, and consensus building. It allows us to refine the draft crèche roadmap and strategy, ensuring it reflects our shared aspirations and establishes a robust framework for implementation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we engage in this process, I urge all participants to contribute your expertise, your insights, and innovative ideas to enhance these documents into actionable and impactful tools. Our ultimate objective is to improve access, retention, and performance for all, with a special focus on supporting.
The consultant of MoHERST crèche project, Dr. Kenneth O. Igaro, underlined the importance of having a crèche care center in the country and the need to sensitize people about it. He explained that the lack of crèche facilities is one of the factors responsible for the reduction of the female workforce in the country. He explained how this challenge can be surmounted.
While this intervention has been put in place by MoHERST, is to be able to cover some of those gaps. For example, our student mothers, they don't have where to put their babies. The best they can put their babies at home. In some cases, nowhere. They have to miss the classes because they are training to contribute to national development. They miss the classes. They do it to some extent. A big gap is created. What is the gap? They defer their training or they drop out. So that has contributed to the reduction of the female workforce in the Gambia. So this is a big gap. In fact, this is the biggest gap we can see. There are others, the facilities are not there. There is no policy for this level of education, for this level of childcare. Yes, that's a gap. But this intervention is going to guide the government to come with evidence-based crash care policy.
Lamin Fati, National Coordinator for Childcare Protection Alliance, welcomed the initiative, saying that these are two fundamental areas of development they are looking at. The CPA National Coordinator emphasized the need for a robust monitoring system to ensure that such things are not created for the sake of creating them.
For CPA, what we could do is to say, well, this is welcoming because these are two fundamental areas of development that we're looking at. That as much as we talk about women empowerment, you cannot talk about women empowerment if you don't have a holistic approach to women empowerment. And obviously the idea of having to come up with grade where some of these facilities will be instituted within tertiary institutions obviously cannot be overemphasized. So what we need to do most of the time is the fact that, well, when we establish such facilities, we need to have a robust monitoring system in place to ensure that we don't just create anything for the sake of creating, but we want to see something that will yield to what we call fostering better development for the child and the mother, because that's the environment, right? And also too, I think in the issue of financial challenge and constraint on the mothers, as much as some people can afford to take their children to daycare facilities, but how many could have wanted to get their children, but because they don't have it. So I think also the grade will not be a facility where you think that it would be something for an investment for government to have higher return on it. But it's about how do you ensure that it is financially available for parents that I wanted to make use of this facility.
Meanwhile, participants engage in discussions on the importance of accessible childcare services for students and staff, emphasizing how such facilities can contribute to improve educational outcomes and overall institutional resilience. The workshop highlighted the urgent need for adequate crèche services, particularly as most students and staff members seek to balance their academic and professional responsibilities with family obligations. As the initiative progresses, stakeholders are optimistic that the establishment of crèche services will not only support parents in higher education, but also promote a more inclusive and equitable environment for all students. For Star TV News, I am Awasane.